Hey guys, welcome back. It is actually I think gonna be 70 degrees here today, but here I am making hot cocoa. I've been having the worst hot cocoa cravings lately, but we are not here to talk about hot cocoa. Today we are talking about decluttering. It is hard to believe that we have been in our tiny house for almost 8 months now. Although we don't have a whole lot of space in here, and I consider us pretty great declutterers, there are definitely some nooks and crannies hidden among these 320 square feet that need some decluttering attention. In some of these spaces, it's going to be a piece of cake to let things go, say goodbye. But even as a great declutterer, as a minimalist, somebody who sees the value in living with less, I definitely still struggle with a couple of areas of decluttering in my life. So I will bring you along with me. We can go through the process together. Hopefully you can get some decluttering done too. So let's get to it. All right, so we are going to start some decluttering right here in our cabinet. Since there are going to be a few challenging spaces that I'm going to declutter today, I like to start off in places where I know I am not going to have a hard time saying goodbye to things, and then I will gradually move up to stuff that is a little bit more challenging. Before I start doing any sort of decluttering, I always like to grab a trash bag and a bin for donatables and items that, other people can use. By no means is this a Pinterest-worthy cabinet, but for the most part, it's pretty organized. It's really just kind of down here that this type of stuff could use some attention. Since there isn't a ton of space over by the cabinet, because that's where Jack likes to lay, I am going to go ahead and just set things up here on the floor. It's going to be easy to dump them out and see what we're going to keep, and then also see what we're going to get rid of. So this first basket here is basically like office stuff. It's paper clutter. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a peek and see what I can get rid of.
It goes round and round in circles, but I'm still on the ground.
All right, so this basically is all set now. There wasn't a ton of stuff to get rid of, but there definitely were a few pieces of paper and things that I didn't need anymore, so those are going to get tossed away. Some of the questions that I ask myself as I go through paper clutter or office clutter, supply type stuff, is how often do I use this stuff? When is the last time I used it? And is it actually going to be useful to me now or very shortly into the future here? And if the answer to those questions is that I have no idea when I'm going to use it or need it, then it's definitely going to be something that I'm going to toss away.
It's a dizzying day. I would give a lot to get away.
So we are definitely making some great progress. I am feeling pretty great and accomplished about being able to put these two items that were getting a little overfull back into the cabinet and being able to say that our cabinet is decluttered. I feel like I've built some good momentum, and so I'm going to move on to the next clutter spot. So my next clutter spot is tucked away and hidden in our couch. Having multi-purpose furniture when you live in a tiny home is such a wonderful thing, but it is also a great place to hide clutter. I'm going to go ahead and pull all of this stuff out and dump it onto the floor again, just so that I can actually see all of the things that I have. A lot of this stuff is hobby stuff, and I know it's stuff that I haven't used in quite some time. And then also some of this stuff is just in case stuff, the kind of stuff where you hold on to it just in case you think you might need it. But I know for a fact that since I haven't touched this stuff in months, I most likely am not going to need it. All right, so everything is officially on the floor here, and I have to say that I am a little surprised by the sheer number of items that were tucked away into that little space on the couch. This is definitely a lot of stuff. It's way more than I remember being in here. But one of the things that I absolutely must do is a lot of these things are tucked away into bags and stuff. I am even going to go through and dump out these bags. I'm going to go through some of the other stuff first, just because there is a lot here and it feels a little overwhelming. So I'm going to start with just throwing away big stuff and before I get to the little minute things.
No sleep, my veins run dry, I'm empty. I can't see, I'm blinded by...
We are definitely making some headway. Our donation bin is filling up. Our trash bag is filling up. And so now I am just going to go ahead and take a couple of minutes to dump these bags out, look and see if there's stuff in here that I haven't used, don't plan to use, and let those things go as well.
And I should call you, see what you've been up to. I've been wondering, how far did you go?
All right, so I am feeling pretty good about this space. It still looks like I've held on to a lot. It's pretty messy. I need to take a few minutes and organize it and put things away. I definitely was able to get rid of many things from this space, so I'm going to consider that a win. This makes me pretty excited. This is a huge difference in the amount of things that I have held on to. I do feel like this space could benefit from a little bit more organization. I have this bag of all of the odds and ends that I use when I'm creating a craft or something like that. This could definitely be better organized, but even so, I'm gonna say a win for sure when it comes to this space in our house. With the nooks and crannies decluttered in the living room, I am ready mostly to move on to my most dreaded decluttering task, and that is clothing. And it's not because I am a fashionista, not by any stretch of the imagination. My issues with decluttering clothes often has to do with my body image and the way I feel like I want to look versus the way that I do look. And so I have a hard time letting go of the items from back in those days when I looked a little bit more the way I want to look and I felt a little bit more confident in my body at that time. I have held on to all of my clothes from Health Coach Kate versus the version of myself that I am now. So this right here is our bathroom closet. It's a very unsuspecting place. It looks pretty organized. I have suitcases. I have 3 of them back there, if you can believe that. They're carry-ons, but they hold way too many clothes in them. Clothes that I don't wear and clothes that I certainly don't need to hold on to. So here we are with the 3 carry-ons of clothes. And so I think the simplest thing to do is I'm just going to start, instead of just dumping it all out, I think that's going to be too overwhelming, especially in a situation where this is already overwhelming to me. Like it has that emotional pull to it. One by one is probably the best way to do this to keep the overwhelm down to a minimum. So some of the questions that I'm going to be asking myself as I go through these items are, when did I buy them? When is the last time I wore them? And is it a reasonable expectation that I would be able to fit into these clothes again anytime soon? I'm going to see with those questions, what are the items that I feel like I can say goodbye to. So this suitcase right here is pretty easy. All of this stuff will fit me this year. I'm going to make my decisions for me with this one, and then I will move on to the luggage that I know is going to be a bit harder.
Why do I make things complicated? Why do I lose all my control? I keep on letting my bad habits make us both come crashing to the floor.
So I have to say that these were the 2 items that I'd had in mind to say goodbye to, and I don't know what it is about these 2 items. I know that they are not going to fit me anytime soon, but for some reason I'm not ready to say goodbye to them. And that is okay. So although I am not ready to say goodbye to those items, I am going to be very proud of myself for being able to say goodbye to all of these things right here. That is a lot of stuff that I am able to let go of and be at peace with where I am right now. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take that win and just be really happy with what I was able to accomplish today. And maybe the next time I go through it, I'll be able to get rid of some more things, or maybe I will have been ready to have made the choices to potentially be able to fit back into some of these items. But I'm proud of myself for accomplishing that. I am feeling very excited and very proud. This is a lot of stuff to get rid of. And this was just from 3 small spaces in a tiny house. So I can't even imagine what you might be able to find to get rid of in your home that is probably bigger than 320 square feet. I hope that I was able to show you today that sometimes letting things go can be very easy, and then sometimes letting other things go is really hard. And when you are able to say goodbye to things easily, take the win. And then with those things that can be more challenging to say goodbye to, have compassion with yourself and take it slow. And even just getting rid of a couple of those items, that is the step in the right direction. Remember that we want to hold on to those things that are useful to us and they bring us joy. And then sometimes we also hang on to a few things that maybe we don't need, but you know what? We will get there. We will get there when we are ready. I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. My battery is definitely blinking at me. Thank you so much for spending a part of your day with me. I hope that you will hit that subscribe button and join me on the journey to living a more simple life. Until next time, bye.
It goes round and round in circles, but I'm still on the ground.